time for the Straight Up Wrestling Show.
What's up, everybody? It's HBT here live, guys, and I'm talking to the man with the thunder, the man that comes at you hard all the time, the man who's been around for a good while, and somebody that you might know and somebody that you might not know, but you should know. Eric Thunder, what's happening with you today, Eric?
Well, first of all, when we say 6:30, Mr. Harry, and I put it out there at 6:30, then we mean 6:30 on the dot, not 11 minutes later.
Hey, man. Hey, you lucky we doing this at all, brother. Nah, I'm just messing with you. But yeah, he's right.
No, you lucky that I hold the current Carolina's championship. So when I say a time, that's what I mean.
Okay, all right, man. That's what he means. And Eric is hey, he's straight up about that time, man. And hey, I'm with it. Hey, he's right about that. You know, hey, it was supposed to be 6:30, but hey, we're a little bit late. But hey, the show must go on. That's all it is to it. And so we're here to talk about what you we're here to talk about your plans in the industry, man. And we're going to talk about your past a little bit. Let the fans know when you started in the business.
Man, my journey in wrestling technically started back in 1993 when I was 6 years old. I had the luxury of attending my very first '93. Like I said, I was 6 years old. My dad was working security for the Anderson Civic Center when WCW came through.
Okay.
A 6-year-old sitting in the stand, didn't know what I was there to watch. Next thing I know, my dad walks up and hands me an autographed 5 Faces of Steam T-shirt.
Okay.
Later that night,
okay,
go ahead.
I'm listening.
What I'm saying is later that night, he allowed me to come down to the barrier because he was standing there, and it was actually during Sabu's match. Now, being 6 years old, I didn't understand the concept of face and heel.
Okay.
So, being naive to everything, here I am. I got my hand stuck out after the match, hoping to dap it up with Sabu. Little did I know, Sabu turns around and spits in my face.
Oh my gosh! At 6 years old?
At 6 years old. So again, my dad working security, my dad's right there. He jerks Sabu up against the entryway wall, slaps the silver bracelets on him, carts him off to jail.
Wow. Goodness
sake. So fast forward from 93, we get up to around 2002, somewhere around there. I'm 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started my training. Had my first match when I was 15. It's been 20-something years ago. I've been in many, many hardcore matches, so don't ask me who my first opponent was because I could not tell you.
Oh, that's okay. Hey, man, when you take that many bumps and bruises, you're going to forget some things. That's all it is to it, straight up. But so Sabu, so that right there was a hardcore introduction when it boils down to it, to get spit in the face, man, by a great wrestler, man. But to get spit in the face but I guess he was pretty much enamored with the sport at that time, or was basically because your dad was involved in it?
Well, again, being that young, I didn't know. So what drew me in was the fact that, like many, many of the old timers would say, they would watch Saturday morning wrestling with their grandparents or whatever. Me, it was with my dad. We always watched every day. We watched every WCW taping, pay-per-view. But as the Attitude Era developed, I was strictly forbidden to watch the Attitude Era from my parents.
Okay, right.
Little did they know, being now I'm in the teenage years and I'm starting to figure these things out. I found my end to be able to watch WWF and the Attitude Era.
Right.
My uncle would buy every pay-per-view. They always watch Monday Night Raw. So I would always find myself at their house on the weekends to be able to watch all the pay-per-views. You know,
Okay.
and it took 3 or 4 years before my dad finally caught on to what was going on. But the reality to it is, if I would have only been subjected to the one aspect of being WCW, I feel like my path in wrestling now would have been one-sided. But because I got to see both brands, I see what both brands have done for the business. I see what guys in both brands have done for the business. Am I going to be the same person as them and do what they done? No. I'm going to do it my own way.
Right.
But I learned how to do certain things from watching these guys between both organizations.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that is great that you was able to see that. One thing about, as far as a lot of the guys coming up now, they see highlights or, they can go back and see clips, but they really don't know the aspects and everything that it took to really, to have that, even though you wasn't really around during the not the attitude era, but the territory area, the era. Your dad can pretty much, I'm pretty sure he filled you in, him being a wrestler, him being involved in the business, filled you in a lot about that. So, I mean, yeah, so it's good that you had that education. And I see a lot of that old school mentality with you. And that's one thing that attracted me to your wrestling style. That's one thing that I do like about you is that you have that old school mentality. I can see you wrestling, and I'm talking about all the way back into the territories. You're one of the few guys that I could say that pretty much would have been around at that time and made it. It's a lot of these guys. I know they fly around. They, a lot of people say they're more athletic and all that. Yeah, they're doing a lot of things. Bouncing around, doing a lot more things. But it's not a lot of guys out here on the indies. And me and Chris, we have been to 24 now. 24 different names, different little indie shows or different indie promotions. We have pretty much worked like 24 of them, doing podcasting or doing commentary or doing some booking and things like that. We have worked 24 different promotions. So promotions. So I have seen a lot of wrestlers here in the Carolinas and Georgia and North Carolina. Seen a lot of wrestlers, and I will say you're in that top 15 that I've seen. And as far as guys who could have made it back in the day, you're one of those guys, I would say. And that's big coming from me, because I don't even say that about a lot of guys who's on WWE television or AEW television. But yeah, you are very impressive, man, and I thank you not getting the due that you deserve. And hopefully, man, that is coming real soon, because I mean, you still got a lot of years left in this business. And man, I like to see you just move on up. But man, yeah, that's great that you was able to see that. But yeah, just go ahead and expound on that a little bit more if you want to before I get to the next question.
So to hit on the old school style, I contribute a lot of that to the way I was trained by my dad. Now let me take you back, to right before I started training. It was 2002. The Anderson Civic Center was putting on a literacy festival. Mm-hmm. My mom took me to that literacy festival. Basically, it was their fancy version of a fall festival or Halloween party, whatever it may be. But it was put on by the Anderson Public Library. So we walk in, we do some walking around, and all of a sudden my mom goes, "There's a local wrestling promotion sitting over there."
Right.
She immediately called my dad up. Me, being the 14-year-old kid I am, just starting to figure things out, I'm puzzled of why she called my dad.
Right.
So he shows up. He ends up talking with the owner for about an hour. Comes back over to my mom and says, "Training is Monday through Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. Every so often it's Fridays and Saturdays if they're not running the show. They're here promoting the show." He's like, "They're promoting their next show for what everybody, knows and loves as the old Anderson Rec Center." And he said, and I'm supposed to start training, or the way he says it today is he wasn't training, he was knocking the rust off. But even at that time, I had no idea that my dad was a former wrestler.
Okay.
And as of recently, Harry, I just found out that he actually started wrestling when he was 12 years old.
Oh, wow. Wow.
With that being said, he got trained by Ole Anderson, the Mulkey brothers. So he was around and with those guys during the territory days.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So naturally, when I started training, I get a little rub off of that Ole Anderson training. I get a little rub off of that Mulkey brother training because it was through my dad. Now, my dad did not 100% train me.
Right. Okay.
He would, because he didn't want it to be to where everything that he trained me was basically I was portrayed through him. Right. So what he done is he would interject bits and pieces, but he would let the other guys, like God rest his soul today, Ron Jordan, James Boulevard, Don Matthews, Philip Payne, Dale Dwindle, guys of that organization that was coming to training, he let them train me and kind of mold me in different aspects, right? So then I could figure it out and create myself.
Oh yeah. That's some of the best guys. I mean, some of the best guys in the industry have been trained by one person, but when you look at a lot of the greats, especially the guys that's rugged, that's rugged and very tough in this business, they was trained by two people, two, sometimes three people. I seen Ole Anderson, he would team with people like Bob Roop and train you. He would be Ole Anderson and maybe Stan Hansen train you. Like Vern Gagne used to team up with Billy Robinson sometimes, would be Vern Gagne, Billy Robinson, and maybe Mad Dog Vachon, and they would train people. It would be like three different trainers. So, and the guys that I found out that was trained by a lot of those multiple guys was the guys that could pretty much get in there and was like a Dory Funk Jr., or Terry Funk. And I'm talking about Terry Funk before he became the hardcore Terry Funk. I'm talking about the Terry Funk that was in the 70s and 80s, that was, in early 90s, 70s and 80s, that was the wrestler Terry Funk, that was big, rough, tough, but he could get down with a Bob Backlund or Jack Briscoe and go hole for hole. That's what I'm talking about. Those guys, they was trained by multiple people, even though, like Terry Funk had his dad, his dad, Dory Funk Sr. trained him and his brother, but they had other people that trained them. Go ahead.
Right. So I trained for, I want to say, the better part of 9 months. I know it don't sound like a lot. And even today, we ask for guys to be trained at least a year before they get in the ring. Right. And that's because the biggest part of the training is the psychology. Right. Anybody can get in a ring and take a back bump, a clothesline, a hip toss. But if you don't know the true psychology to wrestling, you'll never make it. Right. So being that I lived in a house with a wrestler, it started to become the constant picking of my dad's brain. Okay. So I trained for 9 months, and I was told by the owner of the promotion that I could not, in the state of Georgia, start wrestling until I was at least 15. Okay. So when I turned 15, Johnny Love of IWA Flashfire walked up and said, "I got your first match." So I ended up wrestling for the IWA Flashfire for, I want to say, the better part of 4 years. Okay. Before, of course, before Johnny got real sick and, had to sell out everything because he couldn't keep doing it. But during my time with IWA Flashfire, I ended up portraying another wrestler who had selective amnesia. And that, again, I mentioned him a while ago, it was Ron Jordan. I dressed up just like him, said I went by John Warden,
Okay.
That's where the whole big country character was born. As my run of big country, I never held any singles titles, but I partnered up with a guy that was a race car driver on Friday night and was ready to punch somebody in the mouth on Saturday night by the name of Chris Vanador. Yeah,
okay.
What a combination, right? We formed a tag team called Horsepower.
Okay.
And, Horsepower would go on to battle the Lug Nuts, which was Tow Truck and Buford T, which, Buford T has went on, past us by now.
Okay.
But we battled back and forth with Lug Nuts, exchanging the tag titles back and forth. I think I totaled up a total of 5 tag team runs while at IWA.
Okay.
That was until my dad pulled the wool over my eyes and created a new character and teamed up with Tommy Sawyer to form the team of State Line, and they walked in and obliterated me and my partner.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. So, not only that, but just the culmination of my dad being a wrestler, which most people nowadays knows him as the Golden Eagle.
Right.
When he first got started, he wasn't under a mask. He was just his plain Jane self. He had gotten the name of Mike Thunder.
Okay.
So that's kind of, in short story, that's kind of how the whole Eric Thunder thing came about, is because I wanted it to be sort of a tribute to my dad.
Okay.
All
right.
But while at IWA, some of the singles matches I had were hardcore matches. I remember we done one big 8-man tag hardcore match where I ended up giving Matt Sells a spine buster through a table for the 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest hardcore match that I would say that I've had was against my dad. And, when they came to me and said, "Hey, you're going to be facing your dad in this hardcore match," when I tell you, Harry, my nerves was through the roof.
Oh, wow.
I was like, this is my dad. I don't want to do something to hurt him, but I need to make this right for the show. So I didn't know how to, I didn't know how to calm down. And my dad came to me and looked at me and he said, "Son," he said, "everybody is doubting you in this match."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Everybody says you're not going to live up to what this match needs to be."
Right.
He said, "Yes, I'm your dad." He said, "But this is something we both have signed up for." So we went out. We had the match. I cracked him over the head with what I thought was a piece of cardboard that I taped up.
Oh,
but I'm here to tell everybody now. God is my witness. I thought it was cardboard. It was actually sheetrock.
Oh my God!
So when I come down and crack my dad over the head with this sheetrock, it's across his back. He carried a red line down his spine for 2 weeks from that sheetrock.
Wow!
But when we were done with that match, we had a standing ovation from the crowd and from the locker room.
Oh, that's good. That's good, man. But goodness sake, I know that had to mess with you a little bit about that mistake of doing that. But hey, we know mistakes happen in this business. But yes, let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and acknowledge a few people here, man. All right. Yeah. 20 good time master, my man Lucas is in the house. Howdy, folks. Welcome. All right, Zach Minger is in the house. Appreciate you coming in. Said happy National Extra Dessert Day. All right. Said, bro, this is too much. That's what Lucas is saying. All right, Eric Thunder, Skylar Breeze. All right, Lucas saying great news, 16 weeks until Christmas. No doubt about that. All right, happy early birthday to Jesus. Okay, all right, Lucas, definitely. All right, Lucas said, Eric Thunder, you are a screaming earth loudest guy. You are the screamers, one of the calling you one of the earth screamers, loudest screamers guy. Okay, screaming loudest guy. All right. Yes or no link now. We're not doing that tonight, Lucas. All right, because I got a guest here, so we're not doing that tonight. We're not doing WCW. I mean, not WCW, but WWE or AEW. This is what we're doing. Read my comment, please. Okay, what's up? Ricky Haynes Jr. says, "What's up? What's up, Ricky Haynes?" All right, Myra and Robotil. My neighbor says, "Are you working now?" Yeah, I'm working right now. Talking with the man, Eric Thunder. Ace Harris tunes in, says, "Me and this man right here, we are gonna take out all of CMW in one nation." Okay, Ace. I seen that.
All nations must fall.
Oh, okay. All right. But hey, if if it's starting from you, I can kind of see it. But hey, it still will be a tough battle because I've seen you with One Nation, one of the One Nation guys in some great battles, and we'll talk about that in a little while. All right, Ace Harris said this man will be world champ soon. All right. Skylar says, Skylar Breeze, all right, says, yeah, Ace, keep telling yourself that. All right, Skylar, the lady who brings out Mr. Eric Thunder. All right, Raymond Underwood. All right, Ray Underwood, wrestler from Ohio. My man, big man, says, hello, Harry. Hello, Eric Thunder. All right, Ray says, Harry, you don't even say that about me and Chris could make it back in WCW. Laugh out loud. All right, Ace Harris says, Skylar, watch and see Eric Thunder is the big man of CMW, and he will win all the gold and be the man. All right, Ray says, I was trained by Eric Davis and Brian Hefferman. Oh, goodness sake. I know who you're talking about, but I can't even say that last one. I can't even get that out for some reason. All right, Luke said, are you going to read our comments? All right, just now got them, Lucas. Hopefully, when everybody else come in, definitely be going and talking to people. But we're gonna get this interview out here, and we'll be chiming in on some of the comments. But hey, if you're on Facebook, hit that like, share, join. If you're on YouTube, hit the like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, ding, 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 so you know we're on like times like these. And if you're over on Twitch, do the same thing. And if you over on X, formerly known as Twitter, hit that like, share, tweet, and retweet, and follow the Straight Up Wrestling Show. Appreciate everybody tuning in. And I know we got people, man, that's, hey, not even from this country. We have fans all over the world that's tuning into the Straight Up Wrestling Show, and you seeing a wrestler. This guy name is Eric Thunder. And believe me, guys, he is something special. Hey, I wouldn't be saying that because you guys know I'm a huge critic of wrestling and wrestlers today. I'm definitely a huge critic. Hey, I tell you straight up, but this guy right here, he's something special. And I don't say that about many people. All right, Raymond says Blue Meanie. Yes, Blue Meanie. Yes, definitely. All right, but all right, so Eric, so you said, you pretty much basically started in 1993, your journey as far as in wrestling in 1993. You pretty much started wrestling. I mean, you started getting your training, around 12, and I think you got your first match at 15. Or you couldn't wrestle till you was 15, right?
Right. So, okay. Yeah, I started training when I was 14. Had my first match when I was 15. Okay. All right. So, who are some of the guys your favorite guys that you have worked with here in the since you've been on this journey? Who are some of your favorite opponents? Give me like your top 5 favorite opponents, singles guys. I know you did the tag team thing, and speaking of tag teams, I have been thinking the last couple of days who would be a good tag team partner for you if we had to go that route. Who would be a good tag team partner? I mean, you're great as a singles wrestler, but for some reason I can't come up with somebody right now as far as in the Carolinas and Georgia that the guys that we've seen that I think will make a great tandem with you, because you're so good as far as being a singles wrestler and with your valet and everything. But yeah, I definitely wanted to put that out there. But yeah, who are the top? I would say the top 5 guys you have faced. First of all, right up there, number 1 is going to be my dad. Your dad, I mean, okay. If he could still go today, I guarantee you, it don't matter what show you book us on, the crowd would be in our match from start to finish. And I'll put it like this: Harry, you book a show, you have me and my dad facing each other. You have Sting and Roman Reigns in a match, which would be like a dream match, right? Mm-hmm. we're gonna hold the category. We're gonna hold the category right up there with Sting and Roman Reigns.
Oh, that's big. Well, hey, big ups to the Golden Eagles. So yeah, so there. So the Golden Eagles, your first one, your dad. So that's great. That's great. So that's number one.
Billy Starr is my second one. And
Billy Starr.
Billy Starr is gonna be my second.
And I've seen wars with you and Billy Starr in Georgia, man. So, and I think y'all have one coming up. What, October the 4th? October the 4th, right?
October the 4th. Yep.
October the 4th. Yeah, in Anderson. Go ahead and plug that.
Universal Championship Wrestling, October 4th at the Westside Community Center right here in Anderson, South Carolina. It's 1100 West Franklin Street.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll be promoting that. Me and Chris will be promoting that. Hey, come on out if you get a chance, because like I said, I tell you what, that should be a great, outstanding, should be a great, outstanding show. It's a very good card, and man, I look forward to seeing that. And anytime you have Billy Starr and Eric Thunder on the card, you're gonna have something. You're gonna have something special. But hey, it's a lot more other people on that show. I mean, that you should see.
I will say this. I will say this, Harry, about Universal Championship Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
It is a completely different kind of promotion. It's not your run-of-the-mill, they're not your run-of-the-mill indie promotion.
Yeah.
They bring in these big stars that are former WWE, NWA talent, so on and so forth. But you cannot go anywhere in this business and have a more up-close and personal conversation with people like Carlito or Alexa Lopez, like you can with UCW. This show on October 4th, Demolition will be there signing autographs.
Right.
Jazz will be there signing autographs.
Mm-hmm.
So if those are two people from back in your day that you never got to, get up and talk with, this is your opportunity to do it now.
Oh yeah, come on out. Definitely come on out. And yeah, and I was scheduled actually with Danny Paris. Danny used to do a lot of commentary for him anytime they came into the area. I was scheduled with him, and me and him we was going to do a lot of the shows. So yeah, that didn't happen. Danny passed away, unfortunately. But yeah, we was. I think the last one we did.
He did. Danny Parrish was there up until he couldn't be no more to definitely film every show.
Oh yeah, he definitely was. And the last one we did, that was in Sterling. But yeah, I was scheduled with him to go ahead and do commentary with all the upcoming shows here in the upstate of South Carolina or wherever they was at in South Carolina. But yeah, but like I said, unfortunately he passed. And maybe I'll do something with him in the future. But I definitely will be at that show. I plan on coming out to that show. But it's going to be a great show. All right, Skylar Breeze says you got that right, Ace Harris. You ain't got to tell me that. Okay. All right, but all right. So, who would you say your third? The third guy.
I have to say my third one is going to be. I faced him in a singles match, but here recently I faced him in a 6-man tag down in Griffin, Georgia. I'm going to have to throw Barbarian on that list.
Barbarian,
which I mean,
wow.
I go back and I say I've only faced him twice, but in reality, I faced Barbarian 3 times now. The very first time, me and my dad tagged with each other up in Forest City, North Carolina, against Barbarian and Beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Okay. Wow.
So yeah, I'm putting Barb at number 3.
That's 2 guys back in the 80s, man. Hey, throwback to the 80s. Those 2 guys, I enjoyed a lot. I enjoyed those guys a lot back in the day.
And truthfully, 4 and 5 could flip-flop back and forth all day long.
Yeah.
So the last 2 would be Richard Ramos, because me and him has had some hellacious battles down at SWA in Eastern Ollie, Georgia.
One of the bad squad. Yeah. That's my boy. That's my boy.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and throw in the leader of One Nation at Carolina Main Event Wrestling, Octavius Conway.
God almighty, man. I tell you what. And big ups to you. I mean, big ups to Octavius too, but man, I give you all the credit in the world, and I love what you did for Octavius. I mean, it's too bad a lot of people in the Carolinas haven't really gotten to see that. I think that's one of the matches. A couple of those matches I'm gonna have to put up on the Straight Up Wrestling Show and put on my personal page. But yeah, one of the matches that you and Octavius had up there. I mean, just about a few months back, one of the best hardcore, street brawls that I ever seen in the business. It was incredible, and the crowd was into it the whole time. Nobody sat down. Great. Outstanding match. You have helped him. Just pretty much elevated him to pretty much where people never thought he would get to. But yeah, big ups to you and him. Big ups to him, man. But yeah, I love that. I love what you guys have done in this business.
Yeah, I mean, in that street fight match, I done everything except take him out behind the woodshed. But if that was what it would have came to, I'd have put him through the woodshed.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Richard Hood? My man is in the building. What's going on, Richard? I'm talking with Eric Thunder. Hey, one of the toughest guys, a throwback. He's only in his mid-30s, a little bit going into his late 30s. But, hey, he's pretty much Richard, he's a big-time old-school fan. But you ever want to see a throwback? I mean, look up this guy, man. Look up maybe his matches, Eric Thunder, on YouTube or whatever you can find, wherever you can find it. Hey, where can we find any of your matches, Eric?
You can find them on Facebook on my athlete page, The Perfect Storm Eric Thunder with Skylar Breeze.
Okay, definitely check that page out. But yeah, this guy he's tough.
Yeah. If you can't find it, just look up Eric Thunder on Facebook, send me a message. I'll send you a link to the page. The only thing that I ask is when you find that page, like it, help me grow that audience because I want this thing to get out there because I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of sitting around waiting for the lackluster talent relations in these big companies like NWA and TNA and WWE. One of the questions I know is going to come up, Harry, and I'm going to go ahead and spill it right now. You want to know who my dream opponent is?
Who is that?
Seth Rollins thinks he's the meanest SOB. He ain't moved me yet.
Oh, hey, that would be a great matchup, man. That would be an outstanding matchup, 100%. I would love to see that. That is a goal that you should be, reaching out for. But yeah, right now you have to conquer, man. You have to conquer the Carolinas. You have to conquer Georgia, and yeah. So some of the people that I would love to see you face, and I'm pretty sure you probably face some of these opponents. But I've been thinking, like I say, over the last few days, I'm like, man, I would have loved to see. Of course, he's passed away, and I think you worked shows with him, maybe teamed up with him, but Chris Thunder Anderson. I would have loved to see.
I actually faced Thunder one time over at APW in Boiling Springs.
Okay. Goodness, how did that turn out? Was it a good match? I mean, was everybody into it?
I never had a man the same size as me be able to choke me toward a wall.
Okay, wow. But yeah,
if that gives you anything,
Okay, but yeah, Chris Thunder Anderson.
Of course, that was a different side of me then.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't the mean, arrogant SOB that I am now.
Okay. All right. So it's a total, total different thing.
If Mr. Thunder was still alive right now, and we ran it back, it would probably be a different story.
Okay.
But we would never know that because he's done left us.
Oh yeah, he done left us. But yeah, that's one of the guys, man. You and along with him, and the next guy I'm gonna say is the next guy I would love to see you pretty much hook up with, and that it may be a chance for you to hook up with him if you haven't already have had a match with him, and that is Cruiser Lewis.
That I've never had a match with Cruiser.
Right.
But
right.
I know if we did, that would be one hell of an old school match.
Yeah, and that's the match. Let's see, that's one of the matches I think. Actually, when we had that show in '96, I was talking to Cruiser about having a match with you at that time, but Cruiser did not bring his gear. So he's talking about Deion Johnson hooking up with you, and that's another one. I would love to see you wrestle Deion Johnson.
And I just thought of something, Harry. Let me run it back to the top 5 that you had me going at a while ago.
Okay, sure.
Richard Ramos and Octavius are tied for 5th.
Yeah.
That could flip either way. My number 4,
yes,
of the best of one of the guys that I completely enjoy working is the American Diesel dump truck.
Oh yeah, dump truck. Oh yeah. I was wondering about that. I was wondering if you guys ever hooked up. That's another guy I was going to ask you about. That I could see a match with you and him. So but, we definitely make that happen again.
So to give you the answer on that, Harry, have you ever heard the story of the Clown?
The Clown?
The Clown.
Squeaks the Clown? Or just a story on the Clown? No, I've heard the story.
So I was wrestling for APW up in Bowling Springs.
Right.
And they were setting up these series of matches for me to face Dump Truck. At the time, he was the current Southern heavyweight champion.
Right.
So I'm starting into this whole heel turn. Dump Truck's the big baby, come out, everybody, whatever.
Yeah. Huge in Bowling Springs. Huge.
So Thursday before the show, I take my nephew to Walmart and I said, hey, I'm going to buy a Halloween mask. Right. I picked up a gorilla mask and I picked up a clown mask. And I said, which one? He says, the clown. Not thinking about it, I go back home. I cut a promo on Dump Truck with the clown mask on. Basically, is like, Dump Truck, you think you're going to keep the Southern heavyweight title?
Oh, wow.
Right? Just out of the blue. Don't know where I was able to pull the voice from. I get to the show. Dump Truck's talking about, I don't know who this clown guy is, but they cut a promo on him. He's out in the ring cutting a promo, has his shades on, blah, blah, blah. The lights go out. This clown music hits. Here I come. In short story, it led up to me facing Dump Truck in a cage match as me being the Shingles the clown. If he lost, he had to be painted like a clown. Okay. During that promo, he never took his glasses off. I made him cry.
Oh, wow.
Because I did not know that he was truthfully afraid of clowns.
Oh,
and then,
wow.
as we all know, he then tagged up with a clown and went his ice cream truck.
Yeah. Him and Squeeze the Clown. And there's another one who's out here afraid of clowns. And the guy, I think you already done faced him though, Rushi. So that's another one that
really?
In a series of matches with Ruchi. But yeah, I know Ruchi. He's not a big fan of clowns.
but I'll be honest with you. Pay attention any show you're at that Rushi's at. When I walk into the room, he automatically runs and hides.
Okay. All right. Well,
we got any more comments right now?
Well, yeah. Magnum says Lucas. He will probably read comments. The interview. Be patient, please. Okay. Yeah, that's my man, Magnum. He's one of the administrators on this show, but yeah, moderators. But yeah, he was talking to one of the guys, man. That pretty much young guy, Lucas. One of our major, one of our friends or whatever that's on here. That loves for us to read comments and go back and forth. But yeah, so man, goodness sake, I had no clue about that thing with Dump Truck. But yeah, Rushi, and Rushi is a tough guy. He's really good. But like I say, you have a presence. You really do. You have a presence in that locker room. You have a presence at your show, and I mean, and you mean business. I like that about you. But yeah, it's time for you to expand as far as a lot of the places that you want to go and a lot of places that you want to be at. I mean, hey, Ken Magnum, I would love to see you wrestle Ken Magnum. That's one thing that, hey, maybe we can look into. Let's see who else. That's a few other people that I had that I think I would love to see you wrestle. Somebody like Drew Alder, Ryan and Tellus out there in Chester at APW Chester. Nick Fury. I would love to see you.
I faced Nick Fury at APW also.
Okay. But yeah, I would love to see that again, and that's another thing that we can definitely make happen. But it's some guys that I would love to see you against, but guys that's going to pretty much push your career even farther. Because you definitely need those great matchups, and it just has to be people out there that's going to book it and book it right. As far as getting you to where you need to be, straight up.
Yeah, and truthfully, if we're being honest here, I sit back and think about the years that I've been in the independent wrestling business.
Right.
Maybe my time has already passed me to be able to go on. But I say that with reservation because I listened to a interview that a NASCAR driver recently done.
Right.
And, I know he was talking about the world of NASCAR, but in simplicity, it can relate to the wrestling world as well. Mm-hmm. And his exact words was, when you make it to the big times, it becomes a business.
Oh yeah.
There's all the cameras. There's all the time. You got to go here. You got to go there. You got to do this. You lose the interest of having fun.
Yeah.
He said, when I bring it back down to my level and running these short tracks and these asphalt and dirt tracks, he said, I can have fun again.
Right.
So I take it into the wrestling world. If I was right now to get a call from WWE, from WWE, AEW, TNA, whatever, I don't know that I would turn it down. I don't know that I would. Because I'm having fun with where I'm at right now.
Oh yeah. And man, it's especially, I mean, if you can get an indie promotion, and like I say, every indie promotion that's out here, man, I want to see them on the level of 3 Count. Like I said, I know that's a place that you want to get to. I definitely will. Yeah. I like to see anybody on the level of 3 Count, APW Chester. Those two are like the benchmarks of of the indie promotions as far as in the Carolinas go. Used to be, as far as in North Carolina, you had Uprise, which they pretty much took a tumble, but Uprise were really there. They was where you wanted to be as far as on the indie scene. And SWA has had some great runs out there too. Up there down in Eastern Ollie, Georgia, they've had some great runs. So I would love to see them get back to exactly to where they were. But yeah, it's if you can get into an indie, especially if you can get into an indie promotion and maybe go to 1 or 2 and maybe 3, because that's the way it used to happen in the back in the territory days. You had Georgia Championship Wrestling, which wasn't far away from Crockett. A lot of those guys used to go back and forth between those two, and sometimes you have the Crockett guys or the guys in Georgia, they would go over to Memphis, and they would crisscross like that, and it was great. Those guys had great careers doing that. They made plenty of money doing that, and they had great fans, and they was able to really build themselves into a star. I believe it was more fun for them than as far as getting up there to where you had all the lights, cameras, and the glitz and glamour of the World Wrestling Federation, which turned into WWE and WCW. Jim Crockett, when Crockett went national. And, and everything was just spotlighted. And it was just, you had so many people that was in the companies, just like you have today, that's back there in catering, that don't get their spot and they're not happy in the business. So, yeah, so what you're saying is great. And man, I love that. And yeah, that's one thing that I'm looking forward to do, within the next few months. I'm looking forward. I'm looking at doing something with my own thing as far as straight up wrestling show, because that's what I want to do. Of course, I want to continue to help CMW and things like that, but I have to look forward to doing. I have to do it. I have to do it in a way that I want to do it, because I see so many mistakes out here, on the indie scenes and just in wrestling in general, because it's so many people, they just accept anything. I believe they just accept anything in wrestling. Like if you look at the AJ Lee situation, you look at the situation going on in WWE. And they've had so many missteps lately. But they have distracted everybody with, okay, AJ Lee is returning. Okay, now, everybody's excited about AJ Lee, but your excitement should go week to week to week. And it should be the stars that you have. Back in the day when I was coming up, in the territory days, we didn't even know when people would show up. Like, I'm watching Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, which, Jim Crockett Promotions, Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. Next thing you know, 1 week, hey, Dusty Rhodes show up. Nobody knew that Dusty Rhodes showed up. When he showed up, I remember when Blackjack Mulligan came back in. We didn't know he was coming back in, but that's what you should have. It's like if you take off from SWA for like 8 or 9 weeks or 3 months or whatever, and you just come back, people don't need to really hear those rumors or whatever, or we, making an announcement that you're coming back in. The promotions should be so great that you can walk in and then everybody sees you like, wow, you're already a big star. And that's what I want to see happen in these, out here on the indie scene. But out here in these indies with people like you, people like Ken Magnum, people like Chase Emery, people like Zuka King, people like, people like Cruiser Lewis, those type of guys, man, should not be losing. You might be a star up here at SWA, but you go down to Ralston and, they have you as a mid-card guy or a lower tier guy, you're losing a lot of matches. And then you maybe you go down to CMW, you're a star there, and then we get you booked at 3 count, and 3 count got you losing all these matches. That's one thing that the territories had down packed, that they was able to communicate with each other. The promoters and the bookers, they was communicating with each other, and they knew how to keep those guys that was coming in, who were stars. They knew how to protect them, and that's one thing that I want to do. I want to protect people that should not be losing matches like that. They might not win. They might not win the match, but it could be a count out. It could be something. Or if they do lose the match, it's such a setup to where you can see that guy wrestling that guy maybe the next week or the next time he comes back, instead of getting dogged out. Because I've seen guys like down to APW, and I'm not putting Ryan Mantis down, and I would love to see you wrestle Ryan Mantis. But Ryan Mantis wrestled when APW changed to EPW. He wrestled Chase Emery down there, and Chase Emery's a big name, man, and just dominated Chase Emery. And I was just like, whoa, was that supposed to happen? And he won that match. And I'm like, you cannot do that with somebody like that. And that's one thing that I want to pretty much try to get away from here on this indie scene.
Yeah, because if you ever hear me talk to any of the young guys coming in, and they start talking about, I'm going here, I'm going there, I tell them straight up the same way that I was taught. Mm-hmm. If you're within a 50-mile radius of your home show, if you run baby here, you got to run baby there.
Oh yeah.
If you're outside of that 50-mile radius, you do whatever the promoter wants you to do.
Oh yeah. And then you can, like you say, you outside of that 50-mile radius where you a star or you basically seen all the time. Yeah, you could go out. You could go out and, like I say, and be something different, and hey, lose or whatever. But yeah, if you in close proximity, and that's one thing that I see here, like in Spartanburg, you might be in Spartanburg, and then you over in Rutherfordton, and and that's just HWA and EPW, and you like two different characters. And when we was in APW were running, and we had William when William brought in what is William's last name? I can't even remember, but William, he brought because me and Chris, who's doing a lot of things for him, he started running in Packlet. But these guys was different people, and they was in the same county. And you know how close Packlet is to Boiling Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And they was running. They was running different. There'd be a hill at APW, and then there'll be a baby over here in Packlet. I'm like, you can't do that, and had the same fans, had the same exact fans. And I just shake my head, man.
And that's where, like you said, you got to blur the lines.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
If you're working that close to the home show, you're going to have more questions coming from the fans of like, what is this crap, than you will the actual wrestler doing it.
Yeah.
And before long, they'll lose interest in anything you do, and that's how companies end up folding.
That's exactly right. All right, Ray says, Eric, where is one of the strangest shows you had to perform at? And then he said, Harry, you know why I'm asking? Because we talked about this before. With me, laugh out loud. Okay, so he said, where is one of the strangest shows you had to perform at?
I will say, back when I was wrestling for the IWA, we used to know every town we were going to.
Right.
All of a sudden, one day we get a call saying, "Hey, we got a show tonight in Rivendell, Georgia."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never been to Rivendell before. He says, Johnny sends my dad the address of where we're going. 3.5 hour ride one way. Next thing I know, we're pulling up to a skating ring.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't guess it's strange. Well, back then it was. But, I mean, nowadays you hear of people doing shows in skating rings all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We was trying to set up one CMW. We actually, over here at Berea, in Berea, not far from my house, Skateland USA, we was about to do a contract with those with that guy, the owner of Skateland, but we got in there and the ceiling was so low, we just like, no, we just went ahead and passed on that. But I would have loved to do it. Would have loved to do it there right off Whitehorse Road, man. Hey, a lot of traffic. Definitely would have been a great place to do it, but yeah, it's just the ceiling was too low. Octavius didn't want to do it, and Chris definitely didn't want to do it. But yeah, I definitely like that spot. But you're right. A lot of people doing them in skating rinks.
Yeah.
So I just, man, but yeah, that is, it kind of strange because the ceilings a lot of times are low, and in the skating rinks you have, if you do it, you have to take down because, a lot of them do have those, those globes and things like that. They have the disco balls and all that. So you have to take those down because wrestlers, man, hey, if you get on top rope, you go hit those things.
Yeah. All them colorful lights like mine back here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you might as well be doing it in a house somewhere, man. All right, Ray says, Eric, same with me. Mine was in Tennessee, small town, a 4-hour drive one way. Found out it was a chicken festival. Oh yeah, I remember you was telling me about that, Ray.
Hey, no, then I take that back. I get a call. I don't even get a call. I get a Facebook message one day from Rex Rumble. He says, "Hey, I need to know if you're available this weekend to work my show." Right. I'm like, sure, no problem. This is back when I was taking bookings wherever I could get them. Mm-hmm. He sends me the address. I show up in Wearshaw, South Carolina to the Catfish Festival. Where it proceeded to rain during my match, so we're wrestling in 2 foot of water in the ring.
Oh my gosh, man. Wow.
Can I tell you which guy didn't take a bump?
You?
This guy.
Man, I tell you, Rex do he do a lot of shows in a lot of strange places. I mean, Octavius used to do it too, but that's when he was starting. But yeah, man, a lot of things have changed with that. But yeah, we got to get that thing back on track. But yeah, we definitely got to get that back on track. I mean, it's probably going to be a little bit after this year. But yeah, hopefully we're going to have some straight up wrestling shows. 2 of them, I want to do 2 before the end of this year. And then we get CMW started back up. But yeah, I definitely want to get something pretty much going to where that, we have a main place to do everything. And basically the wrestlers that we have, the group of wrestlers we have, don't really have to go out and do a lot of things. Because like I say, I want to protect those wrestlers, man, especially the people that we have on our roster. I want to protect those guys because, that's one thing that we was doing as far as CMW, up at CMW going up to SWA, certain people, you definitely want to protect. And, Jonathan would call me, and, he wanted to protect Teo. So, I called Jackie, and say, hey, look, he don't put him in this match, or, don't have him going out this way, certain ways, because, it's people that need to be protected. But it's, like I say, you got to have that communication. And that's one thing I have as far as a lot of promoters around everywhere we went, a lot of promoters, I've gotten a lot of respect from them. And and that right there comes in handy to where you can protect your guys. But a lot of people don't have that. A lot of these, like you said, a lot of these bookers, a lot of these promoters want to do what they want to do. But yeah, if it's outside of, like, I agree with you 100%. If it's outside of that 50-mile radius, I agree with you 100%, Eric, that, yeah, just go ahead and, let them do what they want to do, because, you guys are independent. You guys are independent contractors. Get out there and make as much money as you can possibly in this business, but you do not want to damage yourself in the same little region, same little area. That's not good. And the people, when you come back, and same people that seen you at this other place, and you just getting dogged out, and then next thing you know, you're supposed to be a monster. You're supposed to be, taking care of business. Nobody can touch you in your promotion. It's not going to look good. Definitely not going to look good.
And, going right along with what you said, Harry, even the owner of Universal Championship Wrestling, I'm really good friends with him, Mr. Ron Gossett.
Yeah.
These series of shows through CMW and SWA, he would call me up and go, who are you facing? What's the match supposed to be? Mm-hmm. And then the last thing he would say to me is, I don't want them to do you dirty because of you trying to build your character up.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm with you on that, man.
So, I mean, so at the end of the day, if you're an owner promoter that wants to do your own thing, know how to do your own thing.
Right.
If you're a wrestler promoter that continuously gets it wrong, don't hesitate to reach out to the veterans for help, because 9 times out of 10, there's a lot more knowledge coming from them veterans than what you picked up off of a YouTube app.
Oh, exactly. But yeah, it's like I say, I love One Man Army, love Octavius. It's one thing, like, the feud between you two. Octavius come out, Harry, I got to go over. And, I think the first time when we was up in SWA, it was like, no, I want Eric to go over. And, he was talking about how you beat him, the SWA show. And I was like, no, I want Eric to go over in this in this match, because I see things, I see things from a different perspective. I don't. That's what reason why it's hard for me, as far as people coming up to me and say, I want to do this and I want to do that. I'm one of these people that, I'm going to go by my experience of watching wrestling ever since the, early 70s. It's just 70s into the 80s. I'm going to do things that's going to make sense logically. It's not that a small man can't beat a big man. If that small man is really good or has a style, because just like in boxing, it's me coming up in boxing, being a boxer and everything, I go with styles make fights. Like there's certain people that maybe I will match up against you that may be a smaller guy, that may be quick and may, can hit you with the surprise element that will beat you. And I will have those guys defeat you in a certain, certain situation. But you always got to look at how a person's style fits that other person's style. You don't just have a person because, okay, you say that person is more popular than that other person. Oh, so I'm gonna have, just because we got Seth up there, Seth Stevens, that's gotten very popular up there at SWA. He brings his crowd. I'm gonna have him defeat Eric Thunder because of the popularity. No, that right there is not gonna happen with me, and that's what wrestling needs. We can't have, it's the responsibility of the promoter and the booker to make that person, even though they're a heel or whatever, they might not be the people that's bringing everybody in the seats, but it's your responsibility, not just the person that's, because you have a lot of promoters asking people to bring this person or bring these people, whatever. But back in the day, Jim Crockett built stars at, with Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. Ole Anderson at Georgia Championship Wrestling, he built stars. Bill Watts down in Louisiana, he built stars. Jerry Jarrett, in Tennessee, he built stars. It's up to, the way I look at it is up to the promoter, is up to the booker to build those wrestlers into stars. You got to make those guys, you got to put them in situations to where they are coming off to people as, hey, man, these guys are incredible. Because the wrestlers, you do what you can do as a wrestler. I mean, you guys work real hard on, your gimmick or whatever, and then you have somebody shoot that thing down like LA Knight, man. As much as, like I said, I wasn't a fan of his at all or whatever, but like I told Chris, Chris is a huge fan of him, always been a huge fan of him. I'm a fan of him now. I said, that guy works so hard to keep his gimmick up, to keep the fans interested in him, and then it gets snatched away from him. And, that's one thing that I don't like, as far as a promoter or booker, they snatch that power away from you. And that's one thing that I'm trying to avoid.
I mean, yeah, and just right on with what you said, you've seen firsthand, with me being in this for 25 years, the knowledge that I have. I mean, how many times that you've been a part of a show that I've been a part of, that you put something up and I come to you and like, hey, this don't make sense. This makes better sense. And you're like, yeah, you're right. It takes more than one head.
Oh, yeah, it does. It does. And, you always, anybody, man, any booker should have, like say, if you don't have a right-hand man, you have that veteran or whatever that can come in and say, hey, this right here, right here will be a better scenario. And you listen, and you're just like, hey, that does sound good. I would like, I like to do that. I mean, you don't always do that, but hey, for, like say, not all your ideas, but 80% of your ideas, I pretty much went with, because I was like, hey, wait a minute, that does sound good. And it rolled right into the package of the way we put together the shows. And, so that, I love that. Because like I say, you're not always going to have all the ideas, or you're not going to be able to see. I mean, you've been around the business a long time. You've seen a lot more guys than I have seen. So you're not always going to see, see everything. And you're going to see some guys that and you're going to look at them and you going off of visual. And then that person might be going off experience of seeing what happened at different shows. And that's the reason why I like when guys stick around. And that's one thing that you do. You stick around to the end of the show. Because a lot of wrestlers today, as far as on the indie scene, they have their match and they get on out of here. They get on out of there. And I do not like that. They will come up to me and they will come up to Chris and they'd be like, how you like our match? That's all they wanted to know. I'm like, man, are you watching the other matches, and things like that? Man, I got to get out of here. I can understand when you have a show to do and you got to get to another place. But some of these guys, man, they didn't have no shows or whatever, and they was getting out in the middle of the show. All right, let's see. And back, my man Richard Hood says, Harry and Eric, I'm enjoying you guys' conversation. Appreciate that, Richard. All right, my man Billy Starr is in the house. Billy Starr says, amen, brother. Billy Starr, you talking about
Billy Starr,
guy who's been around, guy who's been around for a long time. Billy Starr, and Billy might not even remember a lot of the matches and things like that he went through. I used to watch him, man, back in the 80s and stuff like that, back in Mid-Atlantic, certain places, Georgia Championship Wrestling. I remember him, and I've showed Chris certain things. I was like, this was Billy and everything. Chris, like, for real? I'm like, yeah, man, this is Billy. Billy was a lot bigger, but he's still in there. He can handle people the size of Eric, man. Guys, probably one of my favorite was what was the guy's name? What's the guy's name? CC. CC. What is his name? C. Used to be up there at SWA all the time. And they had CC on the trunks and everything. I can't even think of his name right
Curtis Coleman.
Was it? Yeah, Curtis Coleman. Yeah, great matchup between. I've seen great matchups between him and Curtis Coleman. You know, him with you and everything. But Billy Starr, man, you talking about you guys, and Starr fits in 100%. You guys want to see a great wrestler and a guy, man, you know, who's up in age, but hey, you still do it in old school is all get out. And like I say, from the old school, come out and see my man Billy Starr. And these two guys right here, Billy Starr and Eric Thunder, will be throwing down, man. They're gonna throw down October the 4th in Anderson, South Carolina. Guys, you don't want to miss it. And go ahead and plug that once again, Eric.
Universal Championship Wrestling, October 4th, 1100 West Franklin Street, right here in Anderson, South Carolina, at the Westside Community Center. You're gonna see people like myself take down the Storm Chaser, Billy Starr. You'll see Demolition, Carlito, Jazz. Everybody's favorite from Georgia right now, Seth Stevens, is booked on this show.
Oh, wow.
I believe Zuka King's on the show.
Oh, my
God.
And
the villain, Marty Scurll, makes his debut in Anderson, South Carolina.
All right. So, yeah, man, that right there is going to be a great show. You definitely want to get out and see that show. And once again, man, I'm telling you, Billy Starr and Eric Thunder, when these two guys hook up, guys, you're going to see an amazing matchup. They go at it, and they go at it hardcore. Billy don't hold punches. You know, he does not pull punches with nobody. And I tell you what, the man right there with the Thor hammer, he doesn't either. He comes at you hardcore. And
I'm gonna tattoo Billy's forehead right on this side of this hammer.
Oh my gosh! Wow! Oh wow! I don't know about all that, but we'll see. But like I say, it's hard to pretty much doubt what you say, Eric. But man, I have confidence in both of you guys. I just know it's going to be a great matchup. All right. Skylar Breeze says you guys are looking at the future of CMW and straight up wrestling Fear the Storm. I hear you, Skylar, no doubt. All right, here's my lady, Missy Childers. Speaking of Chris Thunder Anderson, who was talking about a little bit earlier, Missy Childers, the wife of Chris Thunder Anderson, the widower. Rest in peace to Chris Thunder Anderson. Missy Childers, how you doing? Glad that you joined us tonight. Love Missy a lot. Man, she is one of my favorite people, and that family is one of my favorite families. You were talking about a family of wrestling that deserve awards, and that family, you talking about a wrestling family, that is a wrestling family, the Childers family. And once again, rest in peace to my man, Chris Childers, otherwise known as Chris Thunder Anderson. Rest in peace to him. All right, let's see. Skylar says Billy Roach has the storm, fear the storm that is coming your way. Whoa. All right, Richard said, Harry, I'm watching Bo Reagan and Ranger Ross on the NAWA in 1990. Wow, man. Wow, I would love to be watching that too after this.
That's old school.
All right. Speaking of the man, Ronnie Gossett is in the house. What's up, Ronnie? Ronnie's in the house, man. Glad that you joined us. But yeah, Ronnie, hey, my man Danny Parrish used to talk about you all the time, Ronnie. And hey, I know Danny, me and him, was gonna be doing some commentary for you. Hey, my man passed away, but yeah, Ronnie, Danny always talked about you. And hey, this man right here, I know he's gonna put on a great show. Great matchup there with Billy Starr, and you got a great lineup, and I know you're gonna put together a great show. You always did with UCW, and hey, man, it ain't much else I can say outside of what Eric said about it. Man, it's going to be, but like I say, it's great to see you on here. All right, let's see. Billy Roach. Go ahead.
And like I said earlier, UCW is not your run-of-the-mill indie promotion.
No,
you actually have the chance to get up close and personal with stars of today and yesterday.
Yes.
And that is a 100% guarantee that Ron Gossett delivers on every show that he puts on.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And I have tapes. Like I say, Danny, me and Nick Fury was basically the recipients of all his tapes. And I mean, I got libraries to say I got tapes from, UCW, and I got, all the rest of his tapes. But yeah, he had a lot of respect for Ronnie, man. He loved Ronnie. He always say, Harry, we got to go to the show. We got to do this. And, when he comes here and stuff like that, I want you to come and do the commentary with me and everything. All right. We got Billy Roach. Billy Starr said, talk is cheap. So, hey, Billy is, he's staying here and he's listening to what you got to say, Eric. Man, oh, goodness sake. Hey, the storm might be coming at him, but I tell you what, Billy is one of these guys who's ready to turn back that storm. Eric, man, you need to bring it. You need to bring it. Both of you guys are going to have to bring it straight up. Goodness sake. Josh Switzer is in the house. Says perfect storm. The storm is coming, baby. Watch out. All right, Josh. Glad that you joined us, my man. All right. Ronnie Gossett said love Danny. Yeah, definitely love Danny. John. I miss him every day. You used to call me all the time. I mean, I talk to him. Call me, and like I say, we did so many shows together. But yeah, Danny's my man. What you about to say, Eric?
So Josh is watching you from Clarksville, Tennessee.
Okay. All right. Josh up in Clarksville, Tennessee. All right. Shout out to Clarksville, Tennessee, man. Hey, big 5 stars to Clarksville, Tennessee. All right. Ronnie says, thank you, brother. No doubt. All right. Missy Childers, thank you, Harry. Eric, is your dad still wrestling?
Actually, Missy, no, he's not. He calls himself retired a couple of years ago. But, being in a wrestling family, I strictly told him, you're not retired until you have your final match with me.
Okay.
So, the feelers are out there. Don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll wait and see.
All right. Maybe we can set that up. If somebody get to it before me, then, hey, big ups to you guys. But, hey, maybe we can get that set up, maybe at a Straight Up Wrestling show or CMW show. All right, Alma says, what's up, Harry? Eric, how are y'all doing this evening? Not too good. Prayers needed. About to be evicted. Well, all prayers to you, Alma. And, yeah, I talked to you earlier. Been talking to you. But, yeah, all prayers out to you, Alma Clark. And the Straight Up Wrestling family sends their prayers to you. Almost straight up. But yeah, speaking of all that, everybody, man, I appreciate everybody coming in, and I see we got a lot of people watching, but I appreciate everybody coming in and check this thing out. And that's here on Facebook. Hit that like, share, join. If you're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell, ding, 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 so you know we're on like times like these. Do the same thing on Twitch and over on X, formerly known as Twitter. Hit that like, share, tweet, and retweet. And follow the Straight Up Wrestling Show. All right, my man Richard said, Eric, I'm going to have to check you out on YouTube. All right, I'm gonna put some stuff, Richard, on the show. You might find some things. I'm pretty sure there's some stuff on there, especially CMW with Eric. But yeah, look up Eric Thunder. You probably pull up. But yeah, I definitely. I
think I've got a few on. I think I've got a few on YouTube on my personal channel from back at APW. Right. I may have a few of my UCW stuff on there, but most everything that I have now has moved over to my Facebook page.
Okay, but we definitely, the thing with you and One Man Army, I'm definitely going to do some stuff with that and put that up on both YouTube and Facebook. But that right there was just great. And, the one with Billy Starr that you did the next week after that was outstanding too. But you done had other matches with Billy Starr that was even better, I believe. Ronnie Gossett says, what is Eric Thunder's top 3 most memorable moments around the wrestling biz or out of the ring?
The very first one that I can say is the very first time I got to work for UCW, I was probably 15, 16 years old. Ron was running the show at the Anderson Civic Center. He was actually wrestling at the time as the shooter, Ron Gossett.
Okay.
Of course, I wasn't old enough to do security out around the ring because everybody knows South Carolina's stupid laws.
Oh, yeah.
It was okay. It was a consolation prize. I got to do security backstage where the Hooters girls were.
Okay.
Fast forward, Ron calls me up one day and says, "Hey, I need y'all to be at my house by 10:30. We're taking a trip." I'm like, "Okay, where we're going?" He's like, "Don't worry about it. Just be here by 10:30." So me and Skylar pack a bag. We get up to his house at 10:30 the next morning. Next thing I know, we're on the way to Missouri to go attend Animal's funeral.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And of course, I mean, the third memorable moment is going to be just a culmination of every UCW show that I've gotten to be a part of, whether I've wrestled them or not. Just being around the big stars that have made it to the business, that if you get a chance to talk to them, you can pick a little bit from them and, you know, try to better your craft or take something they said to better your character. Maybe it might be the way you walk or the way you talk or, you know, something like that. Running around these regular independent companies, you don't always get that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No doubt. All right. Missy says, that would be great. Definitely. All right. Ronnie says, matches meet up with people or others. Okay. Yeah. So that was on that question there. All right.
Okay. And one more. He says top three, but I'm going to go ahead and give the fourth one. So there was a period of time to where I actually got the opportunity to do work for Buff Bagwell, like working on his house and stuff like that. What I thought was going to be a normal day of me driving to Marietta, Georgia to go work on some stuff in Buff's house for him led to me pulling up, rushing Buff out the door, and said, "Y'all either riding with us or you're following us.
Right.
Where are we going?" Well, we're all going to Alabama, but we got to go pick up Johnny Slinger first. And I'm thinking, like, what in the world is going on? You know, next thing I know, I'm getting a message of the address that meet us there. You might make it there before. You might make it after us. But we're going to Mike Jackson's. He's putting on a show at a local school tonight.
Right.
You know, so I'm going to tell you now, if you would, and Ron will probably agree, you never know when the unexpected is going to happen.
That's true. That's true. That's exactly right. Exactly right. All right, Missy says, "Harry, are you guys going to the show in Boiling Springs in South Carolina?" Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to go to that show or not. Well, Chris is not going to go to that show. Most likely, I'm going to go Saturday because, you know, hey, I know it's a big card and a lot of things are supposed to be happening. We was going to go to NXT. I think NXT going to be Friday, though. We was going to go to NXT in Spartanburg Friday, but yeah, I may go to that show Saturday. I do want to go, and I want to rate it and see how it turns out. Hopefully, it's a good show. And yes, I did watch your son. I watched Luke talking to Stan. That, you know, so they do have a good lineup, and I definitely want to go and check it out. See how that show's going to come out. But hopefully, they have a good show up in Boiling Springs. I mean, they definitely need that. So, man. Yeah, I just want to see, as far as indie wrestling in South Carolina, Georgia, or North Carolina, wherever it's at. I want to see it succeed. And you know, you had Stacey Aki talking about, you know, having a mix, you know, between the old school and the new school of wrestling. And you know, I just want to see people do that right, and I definitely want to get down there and see that. So most likely, yeah, Missy, I will be there, but I don't think I have Chris with me because Chris gets off later on that day, so he's not going to be there. So most likely, but I'll probably be there myself. But yeah, but if I come out there, I'd love to see you. And let's see.
That's an old one.
Okay. All right, Ronnie. My man Ronnie says, "Who's your favorite wrestler from television from today and the legends, and who's the favorite you have met?"
Oh, Lord. Of course, I mean, my favorite today going to be the OTC.
Okay, Roman Reigns. All right.
As far as legends, I mean, I haven't gotten the chance to meet the legend that I really want to meet. And that's only because Sting costs so daggone much money that can't nobody get him hardly.
Yeah,
that would be one of my favorite legends to meet today.
Okay.
But I mean, Carlito's a legend in his own aspect.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. So is Sting your favorite wrestler of all time?
I wouldn't say of all time. I mean, I'm more of an Undertaker guy.
Okay. Undertaker used to come in and he did his thing, man. Very popular. And him and Sting, they started out together. I remember when they first started out as the Blade Runners. Ultimate Warrior, he did his thing straight up. It worked. Everything he did, it worked. All right. So, all right, Missy said, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great too, Missy. I look forward to it. I definitely look forward to it. All right. Billy Starr, my man, says, Harry, good talking to you. Thunder, I will see you soon. All right. So, Billy, he's going to see you soon. All right. Okay. Going to be a lot of action. Going to be a lot of action.
Every star is a part of a storm, and every star does burn out.
Oh, wow. Wow. Goodness sake. Well, hey, stars are forever. I'm just going to go ahead and say that, man. Stars are forever. And, storms, they do, he can say the same thing about you, Eric. So you got to keep it going.
Hey,
but, hey, you're great.
The thing about storms, though, they may come and die down, but they can also get stronger. They can get more powerful. They can get more meaner, and they can leave more devastation behind them.
That's true. Well, I'll tell you what, man, hey, I'm going to go ahead and say, that name, like say, it does fit you, but like say, Chris Thunder Anderson, Miss Chris Thunder Anderson, man. Every time when I saw you, I was like, hey, the name fits you too. But yeah, I mean, you two guys, man, two of the best that I've seen. And two guys who throwback, man, that I love to death, love the style that you guys bring to the ring, and wanted to protect Chris just like I want to protect you. That's one thing I could not stand for Chris to go in. I saw him go to some promotions and he lost the people that he shouldn't have lost to either. And I'm just like, wow, you just don't do that. And that's one thing I don't want to see happening to you. I don't want to see that happening to other people that I think that deserve to pretty much have their not I ain't gonna say legacy, have their reputation, keep their reputation intact while they're in the business. Long as, like you say, if within that 50-mile radius, you want to keep their reputation intact, that they're not going down the road, 12 miles down the road, where they're a monster here, like you're a monster up in SWA, and you go down to Royston or whatever, Clarksville, whatever one of them towns that's really close there, and and you getting dogged out. I don't want to see that happening. All right, Ronnie says, good to see you, Billy. All right, Ronnie says, can we plug the Universal Championship Wrestling website? Let me see. I'm gonna have to look and see. UCW.
That is UCWTV.com.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something here. All right, Ronnie says.
Matter of fact, hey, I got you right here.
You got to post or whatever, you plaster it up or whatever. But I'm gonna put it on a Straight Up Wrestling Show, Ronnie, and I'm gonna put it on my personal page, and I'm gonna do some things, and I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna talk about all the matches and everything like that. So I will do a separate, and you can come on. If Ronnie, I invite you to come on. I invite Eric to come on. Let's see. Let's see. I got Sunday. I'll be doing with. Maybe let's do something Sunday, man. Let me see if I can set something up. But Ronnie, hit me up or hit me up through Eric or whatever, and I'll set up a thing and we come on and we can talk about your show straight up. All right. So let's really do something like that. But if you got the problem with you, go ahead and put that up, Eric. You got a poster or something?
I've got it in my phone. There. I don't know how to do that yet. I'm still learning all that. No, I'm here. I'm moving.
Ronnie Gossett said thank you. Look like you was frozen there for a minute.
Ain't no telling. Okay. But again, guys, it's Universal Championship Wrestling presents Fall Brawl October 4th, 1100 West Franklin Street, right here in Anderson, South Carolina, at the Westside Community Center. You want to buy tickets? You can go to UCWTV.com or Eventbrite.com.
Oh yeah.
In about a week or so, I may have some tickets from Ryan. You'll be able to hit me up directly for tickets. But for the time being, it's UCWTV.com or Eventbrite.com to purchase your tickets.
I think I can put a poster up here and just like, well, all right. Well, we'll just do that other thing, but yeah, definitely, man, definitely come out to UCW. You guys do not want to miss this show in Anderson, South Carolina. It's going to be great, man. October the 4th, you're going to see some outstanding matches. All right, my man Richard Hood says, Harry and Eric, this is a great show. Appreciate that, Richard. All right. Ronnie says, thank you. I love to be on your show. Okay, definitely. Would love to have you on. Richard says, Eric, do you think kayfabe will come back? Wow. Wow. That's a hard one. That really is a hard one.
I'm going to be real with you. With new guys coming into the business today, they're not taught what kayfabe is.
Exactly. That's true.
You know, they're not taught that if you're going to be a masked character, you need to stop 10 miles down the road, throw your mask on, and roll into the show. They'd rather roll in, see the face and everything, and put the mask on right in front of them. But when you get somebody like me, or like Harry, or like Ron Gossett, or a Nick Fury, for instance, we're old school. We know how to keep it up there, and we're going to.
Exactly.
So the more we get into this new age of wrestling and these new guys, I don't honestly think it will, but you'll know when it's around when you see the old school guys.
Right. Yeah. One thing, and you know what? I was thinking actually it had a chance. I mean, when we first started Straight Up Wrestling Show about 4 years ago, and especially going around to like go SWA, those fans are so into it. They are so into it. You're like, I remember when we first went down there, and Danny was like, Harry, he said, I believe these people really believe they really believe it, man. Everything that's going on, they really believe it. And it was so good, the realism and everything, and how much the crowd was into it, and how hard the wrestlers fought. That element was there. That element, it was just like walking into, like walking into 1982, like you walking into the old Greenville Memorial Auditorium, or you walking down to the Greenville Textile Hall, walking into Sterling Auditorium, and you seeing some old school wrestling, maybe an outlaw show, but you have those hardcore guys that's doing the right thing, man, and it was kayfabe, and you believe every single bit of it. But we've been to towns, there've been other towns like that too, but basically I've seen it a lot at SWA. But man, and with AEW and WWE at that time, they had a lot of people, man, because we have a lot of people that come onto our show, that watches our show, and they just believe in every single bit of it. So I do think it had a chance actually to come back, but then you had a lot of, and I know a lot of it is money, the money aspect that comes along with this business. They start taking you behind the scenes and start showing you everything that was going on. And that's one thing that I didn't like. I mean, I know my man, Christopher Burton, he loves that, as far as exposing the business, and the business already been exposed. But that's one thing I think, as far as the true wrestling fans, not saying that people these young people are not true wrestling fans, or the new wave wrestling fans are not true wrestling fans. But they are, I have to say, they're looking for more of a spot fest than we are. We are the fans that, me, Eric, like I say, Nick Fury, Ronnie, people like that, Billy Starr, Cruiser Lewis and things like that, Deion Johnson. We are those type of people, man, that's in it for the art of wrestling. Wrestling is an art. It's an art form. And, I argue with anybody about that. It's an art form, just like, me as far as a boxer, man, it's an art to it. So you have to keep that. You want to keep that aspect in it, but that's the only way you can bring back kayfabe. And somebody in, as far as, it's going to take indie promotions to do it, but it's going to take it's going to take promoters and it's going to take bookers to pretty much communicate with each other and say, okay, this is the way we want to do it, and go forward from there. But yeah, that communication going to have to open up, and it can't be any egos. It can't be any egos. It's got to be people like the Grahams used to work with the Crockett's, and the Crockett's used to work with the Watts and things like that. It's got to be people that's willing to work with each other to be able to bring that back into the sport, straight up.
And in short form, kayfabe starts with the promoter.
Yeah, exactly.
The minute that promoter puts together that flyer, the minute that promoter books the matches, that's where the kayfabe is born. And then it is up to the wrestlers to continue it. And, you know, in virtue of speaking, on UCW shows, you're going to keep kayfabe 100%. If not, it'll be your one and only shot.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. All right. My man Ronnie says, all right, if you're a worker, podcaster, fan, or anyone in wrestling, I invite everyone to join us at the annual convention in Las Vegas. Check out Cauliflower Alley Club. All right. Definitely. No, Lucas, I'm not going to send that link right now. You just got to get me on the show tomorrow night when we do SmackDown. So, Lucas, but I appreciate you wanting to come on. All right, Lucas said, good news, 16 weeks until Christmas. All right. Cauliflower Alley Club. Okay. .org. Okay. .org, caulifloweralleyclub.org. Let me go ahead and pin that. So, all right. So, you guys see that? All right, my man Travis Wood is in the house. Says perfect, my boy. Okay. Josh,
he's up in Metropolis, Illinois.
Okay, in Metropolis, Illinois. Okay, Travis Wood says Josh Switzer. Okay, Josh says Travis Wood already commented. Okay, laugh out loud. All right, but see you later, Lucas. Have a great night. All right, but man, yes. So once again, guys, hey, if you came on here. And, you know, everybody, man, I'm talking about everybody that's on every single platform. I'm not going to plug it again, but every one of your platforms, definitely hit that like, share. Man, let's get this man's name out there, and let's get UCW out there, man, you know, because, hey, it's a great promotion, and they do a lot of great things. But, hey, Eric, go ahead and plug that once again, my man.
Universal Championship Wrestling, October 4th, presents Fall Brawl, 1100 West Franklin Street, Anderson, South Carolina. For tickets, go to ucwtv.com or eventbrite.com. And this is not your run-of-the-mill indie show. You get up close and personal with all legends, future or current stars.
All right. Yeah, and I will have, like I say, be bringing Ronnie on the show within a couple days. Within the next few days, I'm definitely going to get him on the show and get Eric on the show. And we're going to talk about it more in detail and what's going to go down at this show, this UCW show, something that you don't want to miss. And Travis says, Eric knows us, that's our boy. Okay, cool.
While I'm thinking about it, I want to say this too. Though I may be the current Carolina's champion, Ryan, I'm telling you, I'm looking at that the United States title. So all you got to do is book it, and it'll come home with me also.
Okay. All right. Hey, Eric throwing it out, man. He's letting everybody know, hey, what he wants. Hey, this man wants to go to the top. Hey, can't blame him there 100%. But yeah,
I got a shelf right here that needs plenty of gold put on it.
All right. Eric likes gold, man. Hey, I like gold too. But yeah, Eric, man, I appreciate you coming on. And hey, Eric, one thing I do like about Eric, and he was talking about it at the beginning, when the show starts at 6:30, it's supposed to start at 6:30. You know, some technical difficulties happen, but hey, yeah, this man right here, he's a stickler for time. And but like I said, the show must go on. But I do like that about Eric, man. He's a stickler for time, and he wants things to go off when they're supposed to go off. And you know, I've seen things in the business. You know, I can tell you when it didn't go off on time, things did not happen right, and it wasn't good. So he's right about that. But man, just
remember at the bottom of that flyer it says card subject to change, not time.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna have to plug this. I will. Hopefully, everybody, man, people that didn't see this show will be able to come back. But I'll plug. Definitely gonna plug that UCW. I just now was doing some things with it. Plug it onto this show. So definitely, I will be putting that on here. But I appreciate everybody coming in. All right, Ronnie says former NWA National Heavyweight Connection with our current United States Championship, Mustang Mike. Okay, Mustang Mike. Yeah. All right. Ronnie says the current United States champion. Okay, for Universal Championship Wrestling, it's Mustang Mike. He's a former NWA National Champion. Yeah, I know about Mustang Mike. Okay, so Eric said he's coming after me. He would love to have a shot at that championship. All right, Ronnie says Eric is wanting a match with him. Yep, he just said it.
Yes.
He's looking forward.
I can knock that ugly little mustache off of you.
Yeah. All right, man. But yeah, appreciate Ronnie Gossett coming in. Appreciate my man Magnum coming through. Appreciate Lewis coming in. I appreciate Travis Wood coming through. Appreciate Missy Childers coming in. Appreciate Alma Clark coming in. And once again, all prayers out to Alma Clark. Appreciate Travis Wood coming through. Appreciate Josh Switzer coming through. Let's see. Appreciate my man Richard Hood coming through. And whoever else came through here. Let's see. My man Ray Underwood. I know he came in here. Let's see. I'm trying to go off memory right here. My man Billy Starr came in. I appreciate Billy Starr coming through. And hey, I hope a lot of you guys, man, that was, you CMW guys. I hope you guys was watching the show, or you see the show a little bit later. I did post it in the CMW group. But hey, this right here, man, this man right here was one of the guys, man, that's setting the standard. He's setting the standard. He's one of the guys that helped.
That's right.
Carolina's
CMW
Carolina's champion. And I mean, he's helped elevate it. And CMW has went from these small crowds to bigger crowds. And, even though most of it is in Georgia, but, hey, they've done really well in South Carolina too. Ace Harris, appreciate Ace Harris coming in. But guys, hey, definitely go back, check this out, like it, share this show, because, man, Eric didn't just plug himself. He plugged a lot of other guys, man. Plugged some guys from CMW, but he plugged a lot of other guys, guys that some of his favorites that he worked against, and some of the best that he worked against. But yeah, and like I say, come and check this man out in Anderson, South Carolina, man, October the 4th. You don't want to miss it at the Anderson Civic Center, you say? Was it at Anderson?
No, it's at the West Side Community Center.
West Side Community Center. That's it. Appreciate it. But yeah, we are going to go ahead and get out of here, and we will see you guys soon. And I got Mayhem McQueen in a couple of days. Talk to you later. Have a great night. Stay straight up. Peace.
That's a waste of time and air for Mayhem.
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, all right, guys, stay straight up, man, and everybody have a great night. I'll see each and every one of you later, and I'll talk to you a little bit later. Eric. Have a great night, everybody.
All right.